Have you ever found yourself surrounded by negative energy, where it seems like everything you achieve becomes the target of envious glances? Have you felt the weight of others' envy on your shoulders, even without understanding why it happens? Welcome to our space, where today we'll explore the power of the evil eye and how avoiding envy is crucial to living a truly abundant life in God. Let's delve deep into the essence of envy and how it can undermine our efforts, steer us away from our purposes, and even leave us stagnant in our spiritual journey. We'll explore the benefits of cultivating a mindset of gratitude, protecting our dreams and achievements, and trusting in divine provision to guide our steps. If you've ever felt discouraged by disapproving looks around you, if you've ever wondered why it seems like your successes attract more criticism than praise, this video is for you. We'll discuss the mysteries of envy and discover how we can live a full, abundant life protected by the grace of God. But first, I'm here to ask you to check if you're subscribed to the channel. If you're not, I encourage you to consider subscribing to receive all our videos. Without further ado, let's continue. Envy is a complex emotion that arises when someone desires what another person has and resents not having it. It manifests in various forms, from feelings of resentment and bitterness to destructive behaviors such as gossip, sabotage, and even violence. But how can this emotion impact different areas of our lives? Imagine how envy can corrode close relationships. When someone feels envious towards a friend or family member, it can create an atmosphere of mistrust and competition, undermining the foundation of trust and love that sustains those bonds. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where someone's envy negatively affected the dynamics of a relationship? And what about career? Envy can infiltrate work environments in various ways, from colleagues trying to sabotage each other's success to bosses who prefer to promote those who pose less of a threat to their own status. Have you ever felt discouraged by a colleague's success? Or perhaps you've witnessed the negative impact of envy on your own career progression. But what about spirituality? Envy can even manifest in religious circles, where love and compassion are supposed to prevail. Have you ever wondered how envy can distort our spiritual practices, preventing us from truly celebrating the blessings of others and drawing closer to God? By exploring the roots and motives behind envy, we encounter profound questions about self-esteem, social comparison, and the relentless pursuit of external validation. After all, what leads us to desire what others have? Is it a sense of lack in our own lives, or the pressure from society to achieve certain standards of success? These are just some of the questions we will address in this video on the theme of envy and its implications in our lives. Understanding the nature of this emotion is the first step in learning to deal with it in a healthy and constructive manner. So let's explore this emotional and spiritual territory together, seeking insights that help us live a fuller and more abundant life in God. Envy is a powerful force that can wreak havoc on both those who feel it and those who are its target. First, let's explore the negative consequences for those involved in this cycle of envy. When someone allows envy to dominate their thoughts and actions, it can lead to feelings of bitterness, resentment, and even hatred towards others. This emotional toxicity can consume the person, undermining their own happiness and inner peace. Have you ever found yourself trapped in this cycle of envy, where your own negative feelings seem to consume your mind? Furthermore, the repercussions of envy extend beyond the emotional aspect to also affect the spiritual and social well-being of those involved. On a spiritual level, envy can distort our connection with God, leading us to question His justice and goodness in the face of others' blessings. This can result in spiritual alienation and a sense of disconnect from our faith. Have you ever wondered how envy can affect your relationship with God and those around you? Socially, envy can create a toxic environment of competition and distrust, undermining the bonds of community and collaboration. Instead of celebrating each other's achievements, people may constantly feel threatened or diminished by others' success. This can lead to an atmosphere of rivalry and hostility, damaging interpersonal relationships and even the functioning of groups and communities. Have you ever witnessed how envy can erode the cohesion of a group or community? To illustrate these consequences, we can turn to real-life examples or case studies that demonstrate the devastating impact of envy on people's lives. From accounts of destroyed friendships to cases of professional sabotage motivated by envy, these stories remind us of the real and tangible consequences of this corrosive emotion. Have you ever heard a story of someone whose life was turned upside down because of envy? By exploring these consequences, we hope to not only raise awareness about the dangers of envy, but also inspire deeper reflection on how we can cultivate healthy relationships, solid spirituality, and a supportive community, free from the weight of envy. Cultivating a mindset of gratitude and contentment is essential for warding off the evils of envy. When we learn to value what we have instead of envying what others possess, we make room for a lasting sense of happiness and satisfaction. Gratitude allows us to recognize the abundant blessings we already have in our lives, leading us to celebrate every achievement and joy, no matter how small. Furthermore, avoiding envy can promote healthier and more meaningful relationships. When we are not consumed by envy, we are able to cultivate an atmosphere of trust, support, and collaboration with those around us. This strengthens the bonds of friendship and love, creating a support network that sustains us in times of difficulty and celebrates us in moments of joy. Avoiding envy also promotes significant personal and spiritual growth. When we focus on our own development, rather than comparing ourselves to others, we are free to pursue our own goals and aspirations with determination and passion. This leads us to discover our unique talents and become the best version of ourselves, in tune with the divine plan for our lives. Like the example of Joseph in the Old Testament, Joseph was the favorite son of Jacob, the 11th son out of a total of 12. His brothers, driven by envy of the special treatment Joseph received from his father and the dreams that indicated his future leadership over them, conspired against him. They sold him as a slave to traders passing by on the way to Egypt, forging his death to cover their deeds. Joseph arrived in Egypt as a slave, but even in the midst of adversity, his faithfulness to God remained unwavering. He was bought by Potiphar, an officer of the Pharaoh, and soon stood out for his intelligence, integrity, and administrative skills. God blessed his works, and Potiphar put him in charge of his household. However, Potiphar's wife attempted to seduce Joseph, but he resisted firmly, refusing to sin against God. Unfortunately, feeling rejected, the woman falsely accused Joseph of attempted rape, which led to his imprisonment. Even in prison, Joseph continued to trust in God and demonstrated his ability to interpret dreams. He interpreted the dreams of two fellow prisoners, the Pharaoh's cupbearer and baker, predicting that the cupbearer would be restored to his position while the baker would be executed. His gift of dream interpretation was confirmed when Pharaoh had a mysterious dream that none of his wise men could understand. The cupbearer remembered Joseph and recommended him to Pharaoh. Joseph interpreted Pharaoh's dream as a warning of 7 years of abundance, followed by 7 years of severe famine, and offered a plan to save Egypt during the years of scarcity. Impressed with his wisdom, Pharaoh appointed him governor over all the land of Egypt, placing him second only to himself. Joseph was then able to implement his plan, storing grains during the years of plenty and distributing them during the years of famine. His wise management and divine intervention not only saved Egypt from famine, but also brought prosperity and recognition to Joseph himself. In the end, his brothers came to Egypt seeking food during the famine, and Joseph, recognizing them, forgave them for their betrayal. He reconciled with them and reunited his family in Egypt, where they lived safely and prosperously under his protection. Joseph's story is a powerful testament to God's faithfulness and the reward for remaining faithful, even in the face of envy and adversity. His exemplary life teaches us to trust in God at all times, knowing that He has a greater purpose for our lives. Reflecting on Joseph's story, we are inspired by his ability to find contentment and inner peace, even amidst adversity. Despite facing the envy and betrayal of his own brothers, Joseph remained faithful to God and trusted in His plans for his life. This trust allowed him to find serenity and contentment in his own circumstances, regardless of what others did or had. Like Joseph, we can learn to free ourselves from the stress and anxiety that arise from constant comparison, finding true joy and satisfaction in the present. By adopting a posture of gratitude, humility, and contentment in our daily lives, we can experience the same freedom and inner peace that Joseph found, inspired by biblical examples and personal testimonies of others who have also found true freedom by living free from the prison of envy. To avoid falling into the trap of envy in our daily lives, it is crucial to adopt some practical suggestions and strategies. One of them is cultivating a mindset of gratitude, recognizing and appreciating the blessings we already have in our lives. By focusing on what we have instead of comparing ourselves to others, we can find more satisfaction and contentment in our own circumstances. Furthermore, forgiveness plays a crucial role in preventing envy. By forgiving those who have hurt us or caused us pain, we release the weight of resentment and bitterness, making us less likely to envy the successes of others. Forgiveness allows us to move forward with lightness and inner peace, instead of being stuck in the past. Another effective strategy is focusing on our own progress and personal development, rather than constantly comparing ourselves to others. By setting realistic goals and working to achieve them, we can channel our energy constructively, focusing on our own growth instead of worrying about what others are doing or achieving. In addition to practical approaches, exploring spiritual resources can be a powerful tool for overcoming envy. Prayer allows us to communicate our thoughts and emotions to God, seeking His guidance and strengthening in moments of temptation or weakness. Meditation helps us cultivate inner peace and mental clarity, allowing us to discern our feelings and reactions more wisely. And connecting with God, whether through reading the Word, spiritual reflection, or cultivating a personal relationship with Him, strengthens us spiritually, reminding us of His faithfulness and unconditional love for us. By implementing these practical suggestions and exploring these spiritual resources in our daily lives, we can strengthen our resilience against envy and cultivate a more positive mindset centered on God. Finally, we want to invite you to share your experiences and reflections in the comments below. We want to hear how this video has impacted you and what strategies you have for avoiding envy in your life. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more inspiring content that will help you grow spiritually and live a truly abundant life in God. And if you're seeking more inspiration for your spiritual journey, we recommend watching the suggested video, Set Yourself Free with God, The Journey of Leaving the Past Behind, which is appearing on your screen now. In it, you'll find inspiring reflections on finding healing and forgiveness, leaving behind the chains of the past. With stories of transformation and personal experiences, it offers hope and encouragement for those seeking spiritual liberation and growth. See you there.